So if you want to explain your parents, not your keys, not your coins, we love this meme, but it's just a meme, it's just few words. It doesn't have this, emotional charge in it. What you can do instead, you can show them this image. So we see a guy with the gun in the bank. That's all correct. But the difference is that he's not robbing a bank. He just came for his own money. And this is a story from Lebanon. It's a 42-year-old food driver. And in 2022, he needed $100,000 for medical bills for his father, who was having cancer. He came to a bank, and the bank said, "Okay, sir, sorry, we can give you $3,000 maximum." I was like, "No, I need to save my father. I need to pay his medical bills. I need my money. Sorry, this is everything we can give you." He was okay. Enough is enough. He came to a bank with a tank of gasoline, with a gun, and he said that he will set himself on fire if he's not getting his own money. There was a huge drama. It lasted for 6 hours, and hundreds of people gathered in front of the bank, but not just to watch what's happening, but to really support him. They were cheering for him. He was finally the one who just grabbed the situation by the grip and started to do something about it. So it lasted 6 hours, and in the end he came out with $35,000, not that 100 that he needed. The police took him and put him into jail. But after 1 week, they dropped charges. Why? Because he just came for his own money. When this story came out, another 7 people repeated the same thing in 1 week, with fake guns, with real guns, never hurting anybody, just demanding their own money. After a couple of trials, banks said, "Okay, enough is enough, we don't have enough capital," and they closed down for 2 weeks. Realizing this and going through and imagining ourselves being in that position, that's what really strikes us, that not your keys, not your coins. This is how we really can get okay, money in my bank, it's not my money. It's not even in a bank, it's not even money. So this is something where we have to realize that this is the true power that Bitcoin can bring to us. This is why we need it. Because we can say okay, it's in Lebanon, it's kind of far away. But maybe anybody experienced when your card was just declined or somebody blocked your account and you couldn't do a payment on a vacation or somewhere? Yep, you had that experience. And how was your first feeling when it happened? You were like, oh my God, maybe I have a second card, maybe not. I don't have any cash with me. And suddenly there was just a little bit of what probably the guy was experiencing. So this is one of the stories that helped my parents to understand why we really, really need Bitcoin. Another thing, open source, of decentralization. Most of our moms, they love cooking. My mom does as well. So let's get into the cooking a little bit. Imagine that you're going to a restaurant. Dear mom, you love your pasta carbonara. Let's imagine you're going to a restaurant. But in some restaurants, they put, something inside that you're allergic to. And now imagine that, you're going to the restaurant, ordering the food, but you tell them, "Hey, please don't put these spices in, because if you do, I'm super allergic." And then the waiter goes to the kitchen, and you're kind of sitting there, hoping the person not to put there anything that you're allergic to. Anybody allergic to peanuts or something crazy? Anybody can die from some allergy here? There's some hand I feel you, I feel it. Imagine those feelings, and it's hard for me to imagine how you feel in the restaurants, hoping that the food will be correct. So that's the closed-source system. You need to trust the chef. You need to trust the whole procedures that they were done properly, because if not, you can get super serious bad reaction. That's a closed-source systems. On the other hand, let's talk about open source. Open source would be you cooking the food yourself at home. You have the full recipe yourself. You follow the lines of code, because Bitcoin, let's be honest, it's just a recipe. It's lines of code that the protocol follows and cooks the whole node and software by the lines. And you know exactly what goes in. You can verify everything. So you are sure that you don't need to put something you're allergic to into your food. So when you're speaking to your mom, and if she loves cooking, this can be an analogy and a story that you might use to explain the difference between open source and closed source. And control over money. Now imagine this book being in thousands of copies around the world. Imagine that your mom said, okay, pasta carbonara, but I would like to put some pineapple inside of it. You know, Italians will kill you if you put pineapple on anything or ketchup into something. But what you can do, you can change the recipe yourself. Nobody is preventing you from doing that. But if you do change the recipe yourself, if you could cook the food differently, it doesn't mean you change the recipe for the whole world. And in the same way, the Bitcoin works. When I explain to my parents or anybody else what protects Bitcoin, this is the protection. That it's like a book copied in millions or hundreds of thousands of copies around the world. And for somebody to change, they would need to change every book around the world. And practicality of doing that, it's practically impossible. So this is what protects Bitcoin. It's not the code itself, it's the distribution. Just like with the recipe. You can change code on your node, but to change it around the world, good luck with that.